Alright, hey methods girls. Now what you're going to do today is use Venn diagrams to answer a bunch of probability questions. So you need to know how to shade them. So you need to add to your notes. So as you're going along with your notes, watch this video and annotate them. Okay. So what I've given you here, or what you're going to work through, is Venn diagrams. Okay. I've given you some pre-done shadings here, but you need to know how to do your own shadings. Okay. So let's shade the following. So we've got set A, set B here, and what we want to do is shade A. Okay, so this is A, so we're going to shade it. Pretty easy. Now we're going to shade not A, so that's everything other than A. So it's this one here, B only. And this is not A nor B. Okay, so everything other than A or B. Okay, this is A or B. Okay, so what we're going to do first of all is shade A. So what I'm going to do is shade A first of all. Now I'm going to change colour. Go blue, and I'm going to shade B now. And then union means A or B. So where is it just, if it's shaded, it's in. We include it. Okay. So A is shaded. This part here, the intersection, has been shaded, and B has been shaded. So the shading for A or B is just A only, the intersection, and B. Never mind shaded once, shaded twice. It's all good. Alright, let's change it back to red and shade this one, A and B. Okay, so first of all we're going to shade and. Not and, we're going to shade A. Now we're going to shade B again. So what's the difference between these two? Well, this means A and B. So have a look at your diagram, and where has A and B been shaded? And the answer is in the middle here, in this part here. Okay? So this is the only place that A and B has happened, in the middle here. So in fact the shading for A and B, and I'm going to undo, is actually the intersection, this part here, because that's where it happens in both A and B. Alright, A and not B. Alright, so let's shade A first of all. So these are where they get a little bit harder to see. That's A and not B. Well, what does not B mean? Not B means A only, so we're going to shade that. And this outer part here, that's not B as well. Alright, so we're looking at A and not B. Well, and means shaded in both of these things here. Okay, so the only point where we've shaded twice is actually in this part here, in A only. Okay, this has been shaded once, and the intersection has been shaded once. So let's undo that and actually finalize our shading, which is actually A only. So A and not B is another way of just saying A only. Alright, A union not B. Alright, so let's shade A. And not B. Not B means A only, and the outside part. So we did something very similar just over to the left there. Alright, now remember what union means is shaded in A or not B. So it doesn't matter once, twice what the shading is. This is the part of the Venn diagram we're talking about, is this outside part here, not A union B. A only as well as the intersection. So all of those areas are included now, whether they've been shaded once or twice. Alright, not A or and B. Okay, so let's first of all shade not A. Not A is B only, and this outside part. And B is all of that. Now we've got an and, so they're being anded. Okay, so that means we're looking for the double shading. Okay, and that happens here. So in fact, to finalize our shading on this one, it'll just be this B only. So not A and B is another way of saying B only. Alright, not A union B. Alright, so not A is this and this. Okay, and B is all of this. Alright, so essentially what that means is it's this outside part here, the intersection, and B only that would be included as part of this Venn diagram, or that's relevant for this condition anyway. Alright, not A union not B. Okay, so let's shade this up. So let's first of all shade up not A, which is B only, and this outside part here. And let's shade up not B, which is A only, and this outside part here. Okay, so this basically means everything other than the intersection. Okay, now this is why shading is important, because over the years I've seen a lot of students say not A union not B is just this outside part here, but if you look at and do the shading quickly, you'll realize that actually you're talking about the parts not not the intersection. Okay, not A and not B. Okay, so what we're going to do is shade not A first of all, which is B only, and this outside part. And now we're going to shade not B, which is A only, and this outside part. Because we're talking about and, what that means is we're talking about only this outside part, okay, because it's been shaded in 1 and 2, in the first shade and the second shade. Alright, so I'm going to Control Z to undo that and finalize my shading. Okay, and the very last shade is A union B not. Okay, now we know that the union is that, so is A only, the intersection, and B only. So not that means everything other than the union. So that would be the final shading. And you note that that and that are exactly the same. So that's the shading, and what you're going to do then is apply that to a bunch of different circumstances. Okay, so once you've done that, have a go at doing the questions from 9E. Okay, questions from 9E.